Hey guys, my name is Shemalori and welcome to my YouTube channel, The Musical Medley. So if you're new to this channel, I'm a medical student in the UK, but I'm currently doing something called the intercalation year. So I've made a video on that previously, but essentially I took a year out and I'm currently doing a master's in a degree called trauma science. And welcome to my channel. So essentially what I do in this channel, I just talk about my experiences, but as both a medical student, but also things that I learn, things I found interesting in my life. And also I just bring you along in regards to myself. And it also serves as a personal reflection log for myself. So 10 years, 20 years down the line, I can see where I was and see where I am then. Hopefully it will be in a great place. And today I'll be talking about something which I discovered, well, I always knew about, but discovered in a greater sense recently. And that's the whole idea of mentorship and mentoring. We hear it a lot as a buzzword and a lot of people hear it, but we don't really think about it or really try to understand what mentoring or mentorship really means. So to me, mentorship or mentoring is when you have somebody you can go to, who that'll be the mentor and you yourself, you'll be the mentee, who has a greater wealth of knowledge and greater experience in regards to a particular thing. So this can be in regards to anything, finance, life in general, relationships, just so many different things. And there are people you can go to, rely on, and most importantly, trust as well. And the whole point of having them there is to ensure that you don't experience what they experience and you sort of bypass a lot of the things. Because something I've realized, and this is why I think mentorship is so important, is that in life, a lot of things we do, we're just vibing it. Like life is literally people vibing through and sort of walking through the dark, but you don't really know where the pathway is. And that's where it's important to have a mentor, because it's literally, you've had somebody who's actually walked the same path or similar path to you and who's done the same thing you hope to do. And they've made their mistakes and they've gained their wealth of experiences. So instead of you making the same mistake, you can just ask the mentor and then they'll help you. And then they'll be able to guide you, show you what they did, help you learn from their mistakes, and hopefully it will be a lot better. I recently started taking the idea of mentoring and mentorship a lot seriously in the past 2 years. And it's something I really wish I had taken seriously a lot earlier, because it's really opened my mind up to the amount of possibilities that are available. And also it's made me develop so many more networks, made me more bold in regards to even how I speak, in regards to so many things, because I'm gaining a wealth of experience, a wealth of knowledge from these of so many different people. And a lot of the times people are nervous about where to even start, or what a mentor is, or how mentorship works. And that's some of the things we'll be discussing. So number one, I'm going to talk about why a mentor is needed. So I've already briefly touched on that before. And it's the whole idea that you have somebody who has gone through everything, ideally, not always everything because we're all individuals, but who's been through certain things in life that might be similar to you. Sometimes they might not be similar, but they'll be able to signpost you to other people. And essentially, they'll also want to help you as well. And you need to tap into that. And it gives you the opportunity to tap into that. So you are able to learn from their own mistakes so you don't make the mistakes they made. And also you can apply that to your life to actually be better. And hopefully you can pass that on in the future as a mentor to somebody else as well. But it starts to create a cycle. And this is something that's actually very common, is a lot of people do it. A lot of affluent people do it. And it's something that we also need to do as well, not just for us, but also for future generations as well. As we gain this information, we pass it on, which is the key purpose of me making this video, because it's like I realized something so important and something that I don't think people do enough, especially in so many communities, especially in ethnic communities. Actually, the whole idea of mentorship isn't really encouraged as much, or is usually like hush hush or quite hidden, or is usually mentorship in regards to certain aspects of life. But mentorship should apply to so many different strokes and so many different things. Or even in ethnic minorities, the people that do it will most likely be the affluent people in the ethnic minorities. So, and that stuff I've really discovered, and I'm trying to make it more widespread and widespread. So I know people might sometimes struggle with finding a mentor, and a lot of the time the key thing somebody will say is, how do I even find a mentor in the first place? So let me tell you some of the tips and tricks I used for myself. So usually mentors, they won't come to you. You won't just magically get a mentor or somebody saying, I want to mentor you. It happens, and it does happen. And it's happened to me, it's happened to various people I know. But oftentimes that's quite rare. You have to be the one to go out of your way. And this is quite interesting because it's pushing you out of your comfort zone. But you have to be the person to say, I want to learn this, but I actually don't know where to start. So I'll need some mentorship, I'll need some help. Another thing mentors can do, they offer you a different perspective on so many things in life. So in regards to that, that's probably the key thing. You need to put yourself out there. And number two, you need to identify what you actually need mentorship in. So again, mentors serve different purposes, and it's very important to not just only have one mentor. So you need to have mentors for different things. And what I did when I was looking for mentors, and I'm still in the process of it. I've been recently getting married to also acquire new mentors recently as well. But what I've been doing is writing the list or writing notes down of various things which I think I'd like to learn more. So whether it may be finance, medicine itself, leadership, property, just loads of different things, anything you can possibly think of, write them down and start thinking of people in your life that have greater knowledge in that than you. And again, this is where it gets interesting because they don't even have to be older than you. They can be the same age, they can be younger. But the key thing is that they have knowledge, a greater knowledge than you do, because that's sort of how it works. For somebody to be your mentor, they need to have greater or more knowledge than you do in a particular subject because you need to learn from them. And that's where the whole mentor-mentee relationship starts from. But another thing is very important is that all mentor-mentee relationships should not just be taken. So you shouldn't just have this person that, oh, you're my mentor, cool, I'm trying to learn from you, I'm trying to aspire to do what you do. However, you need to make sure that you also try to give them something of value as well. And this can be anything, even in regards to talking to your mentor about opening them up to different things in life, and giving them idea of different cultures, talking to them about just life in general. Sometimes all people want just somebody to talk to, somebody to discuss things, somebody to run off ideas with, bounce off ideas with, and most importantly, you need to be good vibes. Another thing to find a mentor is there are actually a lot of organized mentorship programs. So in my university, I was very lucky that they do like a quite organized, rigid mentorship program in regards to helping you look for mentors, where you can look for mentors. So I applied to that and I was very lucky to get a mentor. I won't say who my mentor was in case he doesn't want his name to be out there in the public, but he was very prominent, especially in the private healthcare scene as well. So that really helped me in regards to knowing healthcare leadership, knowing what it is to be like a true healthcare leader and what it is to actually be a leader in so many facets of life. And for me, like I said, I have mentors in so many different areas. That was more an organized mentorship setup. Sometimes they can have mentors that you don't necessarily need to tell them that they're your mentor. However, you need to make it known that I'm learning from you, or I'm trying to gain these certain things so that they would even be able to help you more as well. For me, if you do those key things, they serve as the perfect foundation in order to gain mentors and gain people in your life who can really take you to that next level. So what are the things to look for in a mentor? Like I mentioned previously, they must have more knowledge than you in something. Again, it can be in any aspect of life that you want. For me, other things is that the mentors, they must be good vibes as well. You know, I mentioned we must be good vibes. The mentors must be good vibes as well. People you can talk to. And lastly, I think this is probably the most important thing. There must be people you can trust as well. And this can be a bit difficult if the person you want to mentor you is not somebody you're close to. But then the onus is on you to build that trust and to build that relationship in that mentorship environment. And if it seems that you're doing all you can, but that trust, that relationship isn't really built, then that means that that mentorship environment isn't actually for you and you should actually go somewhere else. From my personal experience, luckily in all those areas where I've identified somebody who I wanted to be my mentor, is usually been quite good. However, this isn't the case for everyone. And it's very important that you're aware of that as well. So there's so many different facets to mentorship and it's important that we know all of them. So for us, in regards to mentorship and in regards to building this relationship, why is it so important that we gain these things and we also pass it on, because it's literally the cycle of life. If we're saying that we want every generation to be better than the last, and we want even ourselves, our families, everything to be better than the last, it's important that we set up a system in which each generation that comes after us, and even in ourselves, we make less mistakes than the previous ones. Because even in regards to life itself, people aren't necessarily getting smarter. Well, they are getting smarter, but there's more knowledge available. But the way we utilize it is better because we make less mistakes. And what helps you make less mistakes? Learning from what has happened in the past, learning from the mistakes of people in the past. So many magnificent things that happen in medicine really come about because we've learned from the mistakes people have made. We've learned from things which have been very bad that happened, but we learned from it, utilized it, and made it more efficient. And that's literally the same way our life works as well, in regards to so many different aspects, which I've mentioned already. So when we start doing those things for ourselves, we also build up a bank of knowledge in which we can avoid certain mistakes. And then when we have that, we should also aim to be mentors to other people as well. We should aim to impact the lives of future generations. We should aim to really, set ourselves aside and do something great. But for me, the key thing in regards to mentorship is that in everything we do, we need to aim to have an impact. So aim to have people around us who are impactful and who we can learn from. But then when we gain that knowledge, we apply it down. So it should be really a cycle of mentorship, as it were. And not just beyond that, doesn't just stop at mentorship, then it extends to impact. And that's what we all need to do in all our various ways and in all our various forms as well. For me, mentorship has been great. It's changed my life, which is why I wanted to talk about it briefly, and also introduce you guys to mentorship. Some of you might not know about it. Some of you might know about it in great aspects. For me, I think I have quite a few mentors now in regards to so many different areas. A lot of them, some know they're my mentors, some don't know they're my mentors, but there's so many people I look up to, and not just look up to, but actively try to learn from their mistakes, even if it's something as a quick chat that I said, so tell me about something that happened in your life. How did you overcome that? How did you develop that? And what things would you say you'd be able to pass on to somebody else? And when you start to create those environments and when you start to create those things, it helps you build relationships and it helps you learn so much that the other way, and the only other way you would have even been exposed to that, is to have made so many mistakes in the past. However, this just cuts through all the mistakes and it cuts through all of that stuff. And it just makes life so much easier and so much more efficient. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you found it interesting. If there are any more topics you want me to talk about, any more things from my life that you think you'd like to know in regards to medicine, in regards to general life, in regards to my intercalated degree, just put it down in the comments below. I really would love to hear from you. And thank you so much, guys, for watching. Like, share, and subscribe if this was of value to you. And if it was, put it down in the comments as well. I like to know that what I'm doing is also on the right track as regards to being impactful and really helping people. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful one, and I'll see you next time.